So for a lot of us, the words minimalism and content creation, they just don't mesh together, right? Never mind any microphones or audio recording equipment we have multiple cameras, we have lighting, and a whole bunch of other stuff that sometimes might feel like a barrier to actually creating content. But what if we could streamline our audio workflow so that we have as little gear as possible? I really wanted to see how many different content creation styles and recording setups I can implement with just a single microphone. So we are doing a one mic challenge. All of the audio in this video will be recorded on the same microphone with no post-processing added. And the fine folks over at COMICA were nice enough to send me their newly released microphone, the VM10 Pro. The VM10 Pro is an on-camera mic that comes with a slew of accessories, gets its power from whatever device it's plugged into, and has a special feature that we'll get to a little later on in this video. So for me, it checks off a lot of the boxes that I would look for in a minimalist audio setup. Compactness, no internal battery to constantly recharge, and it sounds pretty good too. In fact, you've been listening to this mic the entire time, and that brings us to our first application, the talking head video. So right now I have the COMICA VM10 Pro plugged directly into my Canon T7i via a 3.5mm cable. In fact, I have the mic boomed up right here. And this is probably one of the most popular types of videos that at least I watch on YouTube right now. Someone sitting in a controlled environment addressing a camera. And running this mic directly into the mic input of my DSLR camera streamlines things like not syncing audio in post. It also allows me to set my camera's audio record level to the most optimal setting to get the cleanest audio within my studio. But what about all you content creators who like to go outside? When I think about minimalist vlogging, I think of really two different scenarios. The first being this, what we're using right now, shooting on a GoPro or an action camera with one external microphone. And for me, that's ideal because it is the least amount of things for me to carry when I'm out and about. And so right now you're listening to the COMICA VM10 Pro going into a GoPro Hero 8 via the Media Mod using a 3.5mm TRS to TRS cable. And we have a bunch of stuff going on here. There's a road right there. There's a highway just over that way. It's a little bit windy out today, and I think I might hear a bird or two in the background. But what also makes this a less than ideal audio recording scenario is that when I vlog with my GoPro Hero 8, I like to shoot in linear mode. And that means that I have to hold my camera and subsequently the microphone mounted on top of it at an arm's length with a selfie stick. So right now I am about a meter or 3 feet away from the end of the microphone. But there is something that we can do to make our audio sound better almost immediately, and that's this. That's right, shoot in wide. And that enables me to bring my camera and microphone significantly closer to the sound source, which is me. Right now we are like a little bit more than a hang tens distance away from the capsule. And what's really great about a mic like the VM10 Pro is that even if we're shooting in a super wide view, because the microphone body sits within the shock mount towards the center of the mic itself, even with a furry wind muff on, the end of your microphone isn't peeking down into your shot. And for me, that's one of the biggest challenges with using an external microphone and something that shoots in a very wide perspective. Now, the other scenario that I think about when we're talking about outdoor vlogging and minimalism is instead of using a GoPro, using something you already have in your pocket, and that's your smartphone. Okay, so now we're shooting on my smartphone, which is a Samsung Galaxy S10, using the VM10 Pro plugged into it via the included TRS to TRRS cable. You know, the cable with one end that's black and one end that's gray. And those cables enable you to plug in mics into things like smartphones and tablets. And that's fine because that's giving you an analog signal into your smartphone, and it should sound pretty good. But there is one other feature of the VM10 Pro that could make shooting with your cell phone even better. And that's recording audio digitally via USB-C. Okay, now we're recording in the exact same setup with the VM10 Pro going into my Samsung Galaxy S10, but this time instead of using the TRS to TRRS cable, we are using a USB-C cable to USB-C cable. And this is super easy to do because on the top of the VM10 Pro, there is a switch that goes from analog to digital mode. And switching to digital mode enables you to output via USB-C, just like you would a regular USB mic. Oh look, and now there's like a helicopter here, right? And outputting via USB-C digitally has one gigantic advantage, and that is it activates the gain dial on top of the VM10 Pro. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe it. There is like a second helicopter coming right there in the same flight pattern. So maybe this is a good way to demonstrate some of the sound rejection that this microphone might have. Yes, so the VM10 Pro, when outputting digitally, has a stepless gain dial that enables you to adjust the output level of your audio signal to your recording device. And in my opinion, outputting digitally via a USB-C cable into your smartphone has the potential to just give you much cleaner audio, especially when you have that extra level of control. Okay, so now that we have the VM10 Pro connected to our smartphone digitally, here's the next thing we can do. Podcasting. So if you're one of those podcasters that is always on the go and you don't want to carry around like a ton of recording equipment and microphones, you legit could take this single mic, plug it right into your smartphone, load up your favorite recording app, and start recording your podcast. But not only that, if you are in a less than ideal environment like I am right now, because of the gain control built into the microphone when it's outputting in digital mode, you can adjust the gain and get right up on this mic to get the cleanest audio recording possible. And while we're talking about less than ideal recording environments. Okay, so what about my extreme sports content creator friends out there who have e-bikes or electric scooters or skateboards, and you do vlogs on your outdoor setup? Well, this is what that wind noise might sound like as we are going at, like a cool 17 miles an hour. Now, obviously the mic is pointed up towards me and not directly facing forward, but here's what that might sound like instead. And if outdoor sports aren't your thing, you can totally be a streamer. So here we have my streaming setup, and yeah, I'm not going to play Tetris 99, even though I'm fairly decent at it. I think it would be too hard to, have a conversation with you about this microphone while playing video games. But I will show you a screenshot of my OBS. And you could see, just like with any other USB mic, that the VM10 Pro integrates with OBS no problem. And yes, you could even use this mic to record voiceovers. So if we open our favorite DAW like Audacity, we can select the VM10 Pro right here as a USB mic, hit record, and you can see that we are recording right into Audacity. And the great thing about this mic is that because it has a physical gain knob on the top, we can dial this in to get a much cleaner audio signal than we would if we didn't have that control. And so that's a really good way in order for you to dial in the exact level that you need for your digital recording. But maybe you're not quite there as a content creator yet. Well, don't worry, because there's one more function for this mic that I think everybody in today's day and age can appreciate. And yes, I am talking about Zoom meetings. So right here in Zoom, we click on our microphone list, our input list, and there you go, COMICA VM10 Pro. So as you saw and heard, there are lots of ways to maximize the efficiency of one piece of gear to accommodate all of your content creation needs. In fact, let me know what kind of videos you're shooting and what your audio requirements are down in the comments below, because it could be something like the VM10 Pro offers the versatility that you might need for your content creation needs. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk again real soon.